Check, check, check. Alright, welcome to the first Mandelbulb Monday. Give everyone a few minutes to file in. And this is the very first Mandelbulb Monday, where we're going to be doing Mandelbulb 3D renders of all sorts. And I hope you'll follow along, because Mandelbulb is a free program. If you have a PC, go get it. And if you can run Wine or some sort of other Windows emulation kind of thing on a Mac, you can use it too. I have done that in the past. It's kind of clunky to get it to work, but it will work. So let's just enjoy this fire and snow for a little bit. And this image you see here was actually made Friday on a test run of this show. I know it looks like it's a photograph maybe of Hoth or some snow planet, but it's actually made with the Fractal software. Art. What's up, Optic? How you doing, man? We're doing art things on stream. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hey, Carl, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing Mandelbulb stuff today. Mandelbulb 3D. Go get it. Free program on PC. But it's going to be a casual thing. We're just going to hang out and do the thing in the software. And let's jump over to Mandelbulb itself. Hey, there we are. How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. I'm going to have to adjust this mic a little bit. Actually, this is pretty good. How does my volume sound out there to everyone? It seems to be different every single time. Carl says, can't really chat a whole lot. I'm at work. Okay. Hope you will listen along anyway, and maybe you'll pick up some info along the way, because I'm going to be explaining stuff as I go. So yeah, this is our default Mandelbulb that we get when we open up Mandelbulb 3D. It actually comes as a 2D image, but you hit calculate 3D right here, and it'll make the actual 3D sort of rendering of it. So let's just mess around with some different formulas. Let's get that hydration check. I kind of rushed to get on here, so let's get that hydration. Let's get that smoke check, and let's just hang out. Hey, Amanda. Welcome to the show. Good to see you around. We're going to make some more broccoli today, I think. Carl. We need a Carl command. I'm going to write that one down. We got to do that afterward, or when we take a break later, we'll make some more commands. So yeah, let's enjoy the fire crackle for a minute. Let's get settled in. Let's get that smoke break. Get everything you need. Get your coffee, your water, whatever you got. We also have new channel point reward things for sounds, so you can play sounds with channel points now. I haven't tried it yet because it only works on stream. And I don't think I actually have channel points for my own channel. But if you want to waste 100 channel points, you can try playing some of these sounds. They'll be underneath the rewards, under the PP. Phosphorus Paradox points. PP points. And by the way, go join the Discord if you haven't. It's Phosphorus Paradox. Discord. That's where we're going to put all the stuff. I keep having the craziest deja vu, dude. Every time I'm on stream, I'm starting to have dreams about streaming. Okay, so let's see what we can do. This is our basic integer power, just kind of default. The very first Mandelbulb. kind of want to just play around with some of these other formulas that I haven't maybe used too much. Some of them are just really crazy. Like, this is just some sort of fucking space taffy that got pulled apart. That could be kind of cool. These are great for... Oh, here we go. I got to ban some... Oh, I got 2 bots in here already. All right. Ban. And... ban. Yay, ban hammer. Okay. Let's go back to the taffy. Let's see what we can do here. Let's change the color a little bit. Because, again, I think I made the point last week, but when searching around for different, like, shapes and whatnot, it's kind of better to not think about color yet, and you kind of want to just get your shape. So let's go to the navigator and let's just kind of fly around this thing and see. It's pretty nutty. This is going to be one of those where when you try to zoom in, it actually zooms out and vice versa. Sometimes you get kind of stuck inside the fractal. Ooh, this could be really fun animation. Oh, wow, check this out. You kind of like started this as an egg. Okay, so this is great right off the bat. Let's go to the color and let's do, let's just make the background black. Okay, so we have our egg. Let's just position this a little better. Okay, egg. Egg's good. Maybe we'll change the, let's pop out the, oops, the settings for the navigator here. When we want to change the step, walking step. Yes, let's make it 5 instead of 10. That way we can get finer increments. That seems good. Okay, so let's do an animation keyframe on that to save that state. So we have the egg state. This is the original state. And now let's go back to the navigator. And we're going to start morphing this. Oh, it crashed. Okay, so that will happen sometimes. That's why you got to save really often. So let's start over. No big deal. So this is the default. I'm going to change this to the size that works best on this screen is actually, oops. If I keep the 1080 aspect ratio, oops, 1080, no, 1920 by 1080. And then for my screen, it's best to go to 2300. So we'll do that, calculate 3D. That'll make your bulb. So let's hope this doesn't crash anymore. Didn't happen last time, but maybe we're getting too crazy with our fractals. Okay, so that's where we got. Now let's go. What was that formula we had? Is it IDE's formula? I think that was it. Let's try that. Taffy. IDE's is taffy. I'm going to write that down. So you got broccoli and you got taffy so far. I'm sure we'll discover more space foods as we go. Okay, so let's go back to the black and white, and hopefully we can just do this again with no problem. Black and black, just simple background. to the navigator and grab that info, parameter, formula, and light. Okay, now we're going to go back to the X multiplier. Tell you what, we're actually going to save first. We're going to save so we have that just in case. So we're going to save M3I. And we're going to go space taffy 1. Broccoli schmear. So space taffy, and it's going to be saved in, sure. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go back to the navigator and the animations. We'll put the animations over here. And navigator, yes. We're going to go back to that egg shape if we can. Egg shape, very nice. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so we'll animation keyframe that. And now I'm going to start the saves on this, which is the animation file, which is different. So we're going to go to... Where do I want to save this? Three A's. And that's going to be called broccoli schmear. Broccoli schmear taffy dealy. So we got our egg. Let's see if we can, like, destroy the egg. Like, this is what happened if you had a silly putty egg and it flew into a black hole. It would just get completely spaghettified. So we got our one keyframe. Now let's go to the next keyframe by morphing through the X multiplier, which is like the taffy pull, I guess. Just let's adjust a little bit. And let's pull a keyframe from that. And we'll keep going. Even try the Y multiplier. Okay, so that kind of stretches it back in the other direction. Ooh, wow. And let's get a keyframe of that. And we'll keep just saving as we go. Except it's not giving me the same folder. Okay. I'm actually going to go to the preferences really quick and set the folder for M3A files. That's going to be desktop. Good. Okay, back to the navigator. Let's fly around maybe. Maybe we'll zoom out a little bit. It's not that. Nope. Zoom this one, yeah. Ooh, this is going to be wild. Okay, let's keep, like, doing the schmear. I'll try to keep it in the center of the frame as much as possible. So let's grab a keyframe of that. And I wonder just how far this can go. It kind of goes back to 0 again. I'm guessing it'll become that egg once more. And we'll do that, and then we'll rotate a bunch. this thing. We'll keyframe that. Okay, let's go save again, and then we're going to do a quick preview of the animation. How you doing today, Amanda? What are you working on? Okay, let's see the preview of this. Oh, this is going to be cool. Silly putty. That'll be cool. I have my other laptop rendering out an animation right now. I think that's what I'm going to be doing in order to actually render these as animations, because I don't want to tie up this computer as my main computer. So we're going to render taffy animations on a different machine. Okay, so we have that. We have that saved. Let's go. I actually want to start a new one, because I kind of went off into a tangent because I found that egg and I was like, ooh. Mandelbulb Monday, Chumpslick, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. This is the first official Mandelbulb Monday. And I kind of got off on a tangent right off the beginning here because I found something that was cool and it was not in the direction I initially intended. So let's save this. Save M3I. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to set the directory for that again, because that's, I had to reinstall this a couple days ago. So preferences, directories, save full M3I image files. I want that folder to be desktop, Mandelbulb TJ's files, M3Is. Okay, so now when I go to save, it should go there. Good, okay. All right, so Space Taffy 1. Okay, so there's our taffy. Cool. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to start a new one. Basically, I'm just going to close the animation. We have the animation saved. And we're going to go to a different formula. Rather than just resetting the whole program, we'll just do a different... Let's try BT2 Pine. Let's see what that does. It's fun to just get an idea of what these base formulas do before you start messing with the actual parameters. This one's pretty cool. This has like a Gothic church sort of vibe, or some sort of like, I don't know, stained glass window architecture kind of deal. Let's see what we can do with this one. Or let's keep that one in mind. Let's look at some other ones first. That was BT2 Pine. Let's try Ikanaga Bulb. Oh shit, okay, I like where this one could go. This one's gonna have a lot of cool shit inside of it. Let's go with this. Maybe we'll just start off by rotating. Get an idea of what these parameters do. Cool, another one where you kind of like stretch it. also be fun. In this case, we're going to want to make some sort of landscape, so we're going to try and find something, a place that's a spot where our ship can land. Even this is pretty cool. Like, this is almost like a broken tree trunk kind of thing. Let's see what other parameters we got here. We got B. So we got A and B, and then you can adjust the X, Y, and Z of whatever A and B are. Okay, let's see about adding a second formula into this to maybe get some more kind of texture. Now, let's go to a new animation. We'll delete these. Oh, we can just do this. Yeah, new, okay. I always forget about that. Okay, so let's keyframe what we got in the navigator right now, so we can get back to it later. And again, if this is the first time you're hearing me say this, it'll not be the last time, but save your keyframes. Keyframes are the way you get back to where you were. It's like breadcrumbs. Because with these kind of parameters, unless you write the number down, you're not going to know how to get back to it. Okay, so let's check out the... Oh, so we did add the second formula. We got the second formula as T-Glad Tetra. So let's go... We'll send this to the main. And we'll render it. And now we have that, the initial formula plus the second formula. So let's go back to the navigator. And let's mess around with the parameters of Formula 2. Oh, there's no parameters, hey? Okay, so use a different formula. This one seems to be titled Mistletoe. Yeah, this is... It might just be me, but these are called Mistletoe Sim 2, Mistletoe Fold, Mistletoe... Let's try Mistletoe. It's definitely the mistletoe season, right? I'll go calculate that, see what that does. Oh wow, I like that. That gives it like a more rocky kind of feeling and less taffy-ish, I guess. Let's go back to the navigator. We'll grab the parameters and formula and the light. Zoom out a little bit. And, oops, that's down. This is zoom out. Yeah. Wow, look at all this weird shit down here. That's pretty cool. Once again, this formula does not have any parameters that we can change. Let's try Formula 3. Let's add some to that. Maybe... one of these deals. Send that to the main. Let's actually keyframe it also. Seasonal. Wait, do we have an Amanda command? What should Amanda's command be? Oh wow, check this out. Okay, this is nice. Look at these weird like crevices down here and all this other crazy shit. This is like the surface of a planet. That's all rounded and stuff, and then it's got this giant crevice and this fucking big growth on it. Let's save that as Space Taffy 2. Go back into the navigator. Maybe we'll zoom into some of these areas and see what's there. Kind of like fly way down to the surface of this and then look around. Let's keyframe that, and I want to see what that looks like as full resolution. Wow, okay, this is nice. Great texture and stuff, but I think I want to find a different position. Cool, okay, so let's maybe rotate this to the other way. I'll look up here. You can also do this with the keyboard. I'm just doing it with the mouse. Maybe we'll play with some of the parameters. Oh, too much. These are going to be like very minute adjustments. It's amazing how you can just shift the entire topography of the thing. And it's all just math. Okay, let's try that. I like this composition. Let's see what that looks like. We'll keyframe it again. Go view to main, and we're going to save this as another animation. even though it's only 2 frames, it could be cool to morph between those two. Chum says, you hear the theory that our universe was created from an ejection of a hypersphere collapse? No? Wait, what happened to my camera? There we go. Let's fucking go. Mandelbulb Monday, dude. That's where we're at right now. So we're going to calculate this. I really like this too. We might do something with that. That might be a whole separate sort of landscape. But I want to get more of like an actual like traditional sort of landscape going on, even though it's fucking weird Mandelbulb shit. And yes, if you hadn't noticed, I have a shop now. I set up a web shop where I'm going to be posting, you'll be able to get prints of these. And there's a few things up there right now, actually. Wow, look at this. This is fucking cool. Look at all this shit, man. Okay. Let's actually, yeah, I want to leave it at that size for now. We'll render it bigger later. One thing that's handy to do is when you're actually working, work at a smaller pixel size, because it takes less time to render, and then when you go to render the final thing, then you can do like, 10,000 pixels or whatever you want to do. Like, look at all this crazy shit. This looks like an owl face. Wish I could zoom in more. Actually, you know what I might do? I'm going to go to 4600. And then we'll just view it as a smaller size. Andremia, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Well, I know how you're doing. But actually I don't, because you're a robot. So it's kind of a weird question to ask a robot. Panoptic says, man, I gotta re-download Mandelbulb. It's so fun. Yeah, man, for sure. So Andremia, we're doing more alien landscapes today. And I really want on this one to zoom in and show you guys some of the detail on all this weird stuff. And Dreamy says, we are programmed to respond in a pleasant manner, so I'm excellent, thank you. Look at all the craggy bits. And I'm actually really learning to like these really noisy parts. When I first started rendering animations out of this, I was trying so hard to get them to be as clean as possible. And then I realized they look awesome when they have all this noise in them too, because I'm just going to take them and run them through Resolume and fucking like destroy them anyway with like low res stuff and like glitching and whatnot. Okay, so now it does the shadow. Yeah, once it does the shadow, you're really in like some sick territory. Like all this weird detail, it's all just formulas. Okay, so this is our like main thing. I might want to tweak the composition a little bit so we can let's save again. Gotta save. Just keep saving. It might crash. It already crashed on us once. 001001011010100101010 equals J. That was me doing my best Bender impression. Okay, so let's go back to the navigator. We're going to grab all these parameters and whatnot. I might tweak the composition just a little bit here. Maybe even just that much is enough. It is good if you're going to render out still frames of these to kind of decide early on what you want your composition of a specific thing to be before you start doing the light. Otherwise, the light won't necessarily match up if you try to move these things later. Maybe like that, with a little bit less sky. Like I kind of see this as the sky back here. Maybe we'll put a moon in later. But today we're trying to do as much as we can just inside of Mandelbulb. Can we get Standard Robot in here to do some zeros and ones for us also? Anyone know where Standard Robot is? I know he's not active on Discord. Go find him. Or it. I think it'll also want to talk about cake. Okay, so we got this. Let's send that to the main. Kind of the same thing we have, but it'll be a slightly different composition. So we actually, before we do that, let's animation keyframe that. So now we have another keyframe. It's slightly different. And view to main. And calculate 3D. Let's go back to our 2300. And then later on, we'll go back to the bigger one again. For the sake of time, we're just going to do that. That's it. Spam those zeros and ones, y'all. Spam that binary. And says, okay, we stop. It's rude to speak in languages that others can't read fluently. So many zeros and ones. Wait, so like, these are actually all different combinations of zeros and ones. Did you actually type that out? What the fuck? How did you get so many? How did you get your processor output to translate into zeros and ones and send it on Twitch? Okay, so we got our scene here. Okay, this is looking nice. Oops. Okay, let's go back to about one out of two. Okay, so now let's do some lighting effects. And then later on, we might even adjust some of these parameters. But for now, let's do some basic lighting. I'm kind of feeling this eggshell color. There's a website that translates binary. How? Oh, okay. Yeah, we did. How do we figure that out? How the fuck are we, like... I don't know how any of this shit works, y'all. I'm just using it. Okay, so we got some ambient light. And this is kind of like that vanilla cream sort of deal color. And so we're... The depth, that's our background, so we're going to leave that. And let's try some fog. Fog is when it really gets nice. Especially for doing the sort of windswept snow scenes. English to binary translator. Oh, shit. Maybe we'll change this fog color. And I want to get all this, the ambient lighting set before we do the positional light, just to give this an overall color. Like, what color is all this weird, like, taffy shit? Taffy planet. Like, it's not going to be like that. It's going to, like, this fog is going to have more of a, maybe it's more of a reddish. Kind of like that. yellowish, just so it blends in better with the actual background. That's nice. I like that. But it does make this spot kind of too bright. What planet are we on? I'm not sure. Maybe we have to think of a name for it. Maybe this might be the planet that your the space station is orbiting. So yeah, and Dreamio, do you have a name for your spaceship? And how does your warp drive work? Do you fold space, or is it one of those, the other kind where you use like ion propulsion or something like that? What's the quickest way for you to travel around space? Even like back here, these pixels, they kind of look like stars in a way. It kind of looks like sandstone, or like the SS Andremion. Very nice, I like that. Yeah, this like, it's sort of grainy, so it kind of looks like sand in a way, or maybe sand particles blowing around. I keep looking at this thing. This is like an owl face to me right here. It's got a little owl beak and whatnot. That's like my eyes immediately drawn to that. And I love in here these little ridges and stuff, and here, all this stuff right here. You say, we traveled through wormholes or something. We weren't programmed to know the particulars. We are still a basic model. We are learning. Yes, sir. Yes. Or ma'am. How do you identify as a robot? Robo-friend. We're all learning here together. Wow, I like how this looks on stream. I'm just looking at my output right now. Looks pretty good. Okay, so let's save this again. This is going to be Base Taffy 4. We are in. Yes, we. I love saying we, like when I'm talking about the channel, or like what we're going to do today, because it's not like if I say I'm going to be doing something, it's not like including the people that are watching, because it's like we're doing this thing together. Right now we're making some weird alien planet. And it's fun to explore. Okay, so now that we have to kind of keep in mind this big light spot down here. That might be something that we need to balance out up here, but we'll see. I kind of like how this big chunk of black here does help to balance this white along with the rest of it, because of this sort of triangle shape. And then this line here, that relationship to this line and this line kind of makes the whole composition work. You know what else I see here now? This kind of looks like a skull of a lizard. Like here's the eye and here's the, the snout. Like some massive prehistoric lizard died, and then it got all petrified and became one with this mountain. Yeah, these ridges. I love these ridges. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. We'll keep this big hotspot in mind down here as we go in and work on the positional lights. Hang on. I need to refill my water. I'll be right back, y'all. seeing things within things for sure. Especially with these fractals, because you get all these shapes that are very naturalistic. And they really evoke different sort of imagery in my mind for sure. Okay, so we got our positional lights. Let's see what these are doing so far. Okay, so this one, I kind of like that color. That's a nice, same kind of cream color, overall light color that we want to use, so we'll leave that one. Let's go to light 2. And maybe these will be more like towards a green. Let's just play around with it and see what we can do. Turn that on. And there again, this green thing here. And we want to go, instead of global, let's go positional. And we'll make it visible, and we'll do the midpoint. And then we'll kind of position it. Right now it's way too intense, I think. But actually, it could work. And again, this is a great way to like add highlights and stuff to specific sections of your piece. And just by using the X and Y, we can move these. Did that just glitch out? I heard my voice glitch out for a second. Okay. But yeah, we can move these lights in 3D space, X, Y, and Z. Maybe we'll turn the intensity down a little bit. We're using these just as flavors in this case. In other cases, I've used them as like actual, almost like LED lights. I did this one that kind of looked like a Death Star kind of space station. And I used them as like running lights along some sort of runway kind of deal. Maybe this green is not the right color. Maybe we need to go more towards that blue. No, it's not going to be. Well, colors don't necessarily have to make sense, but in this case, I was trying to think about something that would look like a rock formation, but hey, maybe it's not a rock formation. And maybe we don't want to do too much yellow. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Maybe more of that, yeah, that sort of like bronze color as highlights. That's nice. Too high. Yeah, maybe down in this area, maybe a little higher up, right there. And then towards the right a little more. Kind of in there. I kind of want that bronze to do this ridge here and then down into here. Hey, big sister, you say, was this model procedurally generated? So this was basically generated out of these formulas. So in Mandelbulb, they give you these different sort of formulas. Each one is like some sort of, I don't know, math that I can't understand that generates these 3D shapes. And then what you can do is you go into, if you go into the navigator here, and you edit the parameters with these sliders, you can sort of morph the formulas around and get different visual representations of them. And says, nice color combo, Alien Forest. Oh, thank you. Big Sister says, I like the overall amber tones. That's really cool. Thank you, thank you. These are so much fun. And yeah, we're going to be doing these every Monday. There's going to be a Mandelbulb Monday. Oop. And we're going to be making, oops, oh shit. So I clicked on something and that happened, but okay, now we're there. That doesn't matter at this point. See how I just made that mistake there? What happens is, I guess I clicked on the actual navigator window and then dragged with the touchpad, which moved stuff around, but it doesn't matter because we have that frame saved in our animation editor, so we can go back to it later. So let's keep doing some more lighting. Get that hydration check. let's see what other lights we can use. Let's go to light 3. Let's do a positional light again. And let's set the midpoint. Maybe we want this light to be over in here as a general area. And we want it to be visible so we can see what we're doing. Okay, and now we're going to bring it forward. That'll be Z. Hey, that's a lot. Turn the intensity down a lot. Maybe this light will do this sort of area, and we'll make this more of this sort of reddish bronze. So it'll be sort of somewhere in between this yellow bronzish and then this red. Kind of like that a little bit, yeah, more orange. Orangish to yellow to sort of this red. But I don't like this big white spot right there. Let's see if we move the Z position back. Yeah. Oh, if we just make it not visible. But it does have to be kind of hidden behind the actual surface. Kind of like that. Again, I'm just kind of like standing back a little bit and blurring my eyes to take an overall look at the color and the balance. And doing A-being is really good, like on, off, just to see the overall impact of that an individual light or element is having. So maybe we want to lower the intensity a little bit. And that kind of makes this whole section work as a separate thing as well, in addition to having this kind of this line that goes up here and then curls around. At least that's how I see how my eye will move around it when I look at it. That might be one of the most important things I've ever learned about like composition. It's kind of, if you just think about how your eye moves around the piece as you look at it, and if you get stuck in one particular spot, like right now, my eye kind of has a tendency to keep wandering, but also it kind of gets stuck in this area for whatever reason. Maybe it's because of pareidolia, where you see faces and stuff, but I see that is an eye immediately, and it kind of like sticks out, not necessarily in a like a hotspot way, but just like almost as an anomaly. Not in terms of color, but just in terms of composition. Okay, so let's go to our next positional light. Let's save again. And just keep saving new versions. These are only a few kilobytes. It's not a big deal. And okay, so let's go to our next light, light 4. And let's set the midpoint. Let's turn the, hold on. Turn the intensity down a bunch. Let's set our midpoint. Positional light. Midpoint. And maybe we'll go, maybe this area. It's where we need to send some highlights. And then maybe down here it's more like a gray. Like dark. Not completely gray, but sort of like yellow gray. Okay, that doesn't do a lot. guess that's not enough light to have it be a light. Go a little bit higher on the intensity, but we'll move it back in space. Big Sister says, the tendencies of this shape are such that differences in the lighting are really changing how my brain perceives the topology. Ah, yes, for sure. And then Dreamy says, this program would be great for environmental concept artists. For sure, yeah. They often brush down rough shapes as a starting point. This would be a great alternative. For sure, yeah, and you come up with stuff that you wouldn't have thought of. It's like, it really is like an idea generator. Like, dude, look at that. That's so cool. Okay, so maybe the intensity could stay there, but maybe we have to move this backward a little bit. That's forward. Now maybe the intensity can come up. That'll give it more of a... So down. Yeah, kind of more down there. It's too bright. This one's going to be a subtle one. So maybe it'll, instead of this color, it'll be more of a different color. Just to kind of give, yeah, it brings that gray back in a little bit more. And that helps balance out this big white spot here. Just to have a little bit more of that cool as highlights in there. So that's nice. I like that. Maybe a little bit more intensity. Too much. A little bit less. Right about there. Like that. Space geese. And Chum says, your last session with Mandelbulb was sweet. Afterwards, I was thinking it'd be sick to custom smudge brushes and add some space geese. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, right now we're just using Mandelbulb, but whatever program you want to take this into afterward and do like touch-ups or other stuff to it, that'd be great. I know people that take this into like Blender, I guess, afterward, or they do something with there's a way here where you can save like meshes. And then you can take that mesh into a 3D modeling program like Blender and like wrap it around, or use it as an object, or like wrap it around stuff. I'm not sure how that all works, but it's definitely something to look into if you know 3D programs. Space geese. Okay, so we have these highlights down here. Let's get the hydration check. Let's get that stretch check. Since M is not here, I'm going to be the one to do the stretch check today. And oh yeah, can we I wanted to test out those the channel point sounds. Does anyone have 100 channel points they want to burn on trying one of these sounds out and see if they work? The sound alert. There's 4 different sound alerts that I put in there. And those are examples of the samples that are in my first sample pack for my subs for this month. I didn't hear anything though. Is it not working? Oh no. I'm not quite sure how this works yet. Okay. I don't know how it works yet, so I'll have to look into that after stream. But we will have sound effects. That'll be fun. There might be some sort of thing I have to add within... Number 2 is out of stock. Em, welcome to the show. How you doing? Good to see you as always. Heyo, gang. Heyo. Heyo. M is in the Twitch chat. She got that hey yo. Taking you all for a drive. Okay, where are you driving to? Are you driving to an alien planet? Because that's where we're driving to. We're flying there on the SS Andremion. Okay, so let's look at some more lighting. Let's see, light 5. Positional light, because that's really the best kind of light. Maybe let's try something totally different color, like this purple. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, I didn't intend for that light to start right there, but that's pretty awesome. That definitely works. So this color is going to blend nicely, I think. And we kind of want this one to be very subtle as well, kind of like that. Like that, maybe. But it also has some of this light from this hotspot is reflecting up to kind of give it this pinkish purple kind of deal. M and N in the chat. And we have OP, optics in the chat, I think, too, right? So we have M, N, and OP. Do we have Q? Q with the gadgets? The Bond gadgets? Okay, so yeah, we got this purple here. Let's just make it visible really quick and see where this light is and bring it out to... Oh, wow, look at that. Kind of do want that to throw some of that purple light across, but not too far across the whole screen. Kind of like that, but maybe it's too intense. Yeah, this is really subtle, yeah. And that this in here, this sort of is a midpoint in a way. It's like sort of warm, but also cool, but like a muted warm cool, like pastel-ish. And that kind of bridges this whole thing. From all the way from up here, this line, and then into this ridge and down to here. And then it kind of brings you back up. It's all about movement. Okay, now I'm still looking at this hotspot down here like it's too much. I kind of want to see what I can do about that. But we are going to save again, because that's a good place to save. And let's go back to our object light. Bring that down a bunch. Maybe just a little there, and then the... Ooh, that's too much. Kind of leave that where it was, and this one... Bring it down a tad. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay, so we have more lights here. We got light 5. Go to light 5. No, we did 5. Let's go to 6. This is going to be our last one then. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to do one thing with this just to see what it looks like. Positional light, midpoint. And what if like this eyeball were... What if that were a light? kind of get it to where it's kind of sitting in there. And yeah, maybe that light is what's causing this hotspot down here. This whole thing is just kind of throwing light in all directions. And Chum says, if Optic goes on tour in the Midwest, he should call it the Optic Tour. Wah, wah, wah. Ope, ope, ope. We should have an ope command. On Brightside's channel, there's an ope command. That was one that hasn't been used, I think, since early quarantine. I think it was a Nightbot social distance joke that never totally took off. Isn't that weird? Some of the commands really take off, and they have like hundreds upon hundreds of command uses, but then some just have like 13 because they never took off. I feel bad when I make a shitty command. Okay, so let's look at the intensity of this light. We kind of want to just use it as like, we don't want to like throw more light. We just want to use it as something that looks like a light that is making this light possibly. Or maybe we won't use it at all. Like, that's pretty good. Like, I kind of like both ways, where this is, it's almost a living thing now because it has this eyeball, but it's also like frozen in time. Do you like the ope command, M? Are you going to make us an ope command? So just A-Bing this, the light off. Having that little bit of extra light here is fine. I'm okay with that. But do we want to make it smaller? Maybe it's more like that. And then the position is further. Oops. That kind of makes it a little bit more eye-like, but then it seems like it's too small to cast all that light. So let's see if we can do something about the, not necessarily ambient light, maybe, but it's going to be too much. That looks kind of cool too. Not gonna lie. Maybe about there. Because I can deal with that warm spot. Or that hot spot. And I think we're gonna balance that out by maybe later on we'll go into Procreate and do a planet. But I actually think overall the composition works and it's relatively balanced. I wish I could flip it over and see what it looks like. But I don't think Mandelbulb can do that. Hey, Seek Dubs, welcome to the show. I also love Mandelbulb. It's a super fun program. It's an endless idea generator. Or planet generator. Landscape generator. Oops. So yeah, I dig that. And yes, the image is very pixely in spots, very grainy. But I think I like that. And we can clean it up a little bit when we do the final export, but I'm kind of trying to embrace that stuff, because that's an artifact of the medium. That's kind of at the forefront of what makes this medium cool. Because it's like crazy math, so you're going to get these weird, like, things where it can't quite compute unless you, like, throw your entire CPU at it, and then the stream will melt. Inspiration generator for sure. Like, I could see these being used as backgrounds for for movies, or like I want to make a bunch of these, and then once I get a green screen, I'm going to perform in front of some of these landscapes. That'll be fun. But yeah, just endless, like you can zoom into these things and look around at them forever and still find awesome new shit, and like just keep zooming into little parts and seeing the crazy detail. And we were doing stretch checks for you. Let's get that smoke break. Let's just hang out with this lizard dude skull thing for a minute. Yes, Seek dubs, I do animate them. In fact, if that's kind of one of the cornerstones of my Saturday night show is the Mandelbulb animations, or at least I've been using them heavily in the visuals for the Saturday night show, in combination with other layers of things. But like, yeah, the animations, I'm actually rendering one out right now on my other computer, so as to not tie this one up. But some of these animations can take weeks to render out. If you go on YouTube and search for Mandelbulb 3D animations, some of them are crazy. They're like, you look at the description and people are like, this one took, 2 months to render. And because this thing, it renders every single frame. So if you want to do an animation that's of any length, you're going to have to render thousands and thousands of frames. And that can take a while. And you can also set the settings to make it more low res, which can also be awesome, which is kind of what I'm doing on the other one, just to make it go faster. And then I'm going to mangle it later anyway. So, but yeah, like the thing is though, like this basically exports still frames, and then you have to take the still frames and bring them into, let's say, Adobe Premiere is what I use to then animate them all together. This one actually make an animation. You can actually, I think you can make a GIF. But as far as having like an MP4 at the end, you have to run it through a different program and string all the frames together. Okay, so let's save again. I can't remember if I saved, but let's save. Whatever, we have different versions. So there's that. And you know what? One thing we didn't even do yet that we can do. Oops. We didn't do any of the... We did ambient. We did a little bit of fog. Let's do a little bit more of the fog settings. This might have that hot spot. See, now we can kind of like... almost like change the time of day. Like now it's almost like a night scene, whereas here it's more like the sun is hitting it, but here it's like, ooh, dusk time almost. These things are hard to adjust, I'll have to say that. But what you can do is when you're adjusting these sliders, you can click on this part over here, and it'll move by increments. Seek says, I'm too scared to animate because my comp isn't the best. It does take a while to render, I will say. But it's worth it. If you can wait, 36 hours for your animation to come out, to get like a 1 minute animation, but it's fucking cool. And they're super unique. You can go in and make something that no one's ever seen before, for sure, just by like playing around with sliders, because I'm pretty sure no one's ever done an animation in exactly the same way and got the exact same variables to their formulas. So it can be really fun. Okay, so where are we going with this? I was trying to work on this. There's almost like this valley right here. So the topography doesn't like totally make sense in this context, but it's interesting. So let's see about maybe it's far offset. I can do really drastic changes. Like even if I wanted to sort of like edit this and really drastically change the composition, just throw this whole area into darkness by changing the offset. But I do really enjoy how it has this glow to it. It's like orange. Maybe this is like methane fog. Okay, so let's go back to the object light. Okay, so now I might want to make a more drastic change. So let's save it one more time. I know I'm crazy with these saves, but you gotta do it. Oops, no, that was the wrong one. Because now we're gonna drastically alter the color, I think. So let's go save that as the new version. And we're gonna play with the kind of rotating the color around and then also doing some shadows, which will be in post-process. So we'll put that down here for right now. Okay, so let's do some. Yeah, this will really make it crazy. Can I move this? Okay. I kind of want you to see this slider. That's pretty good. This random can be fun. Sometimes you can get really nice color combinations. Other times it's kind of really hit or miss. That is pretty cool, but I don't think I want to go back to the other one. But let's actually save this as it is. Maybe. Oh, wow, look at that. Sometimes by just making slight adjustments to these or switching them, you'll get a nice blend. This sort of looks like, what's the name of that? There's some sort of rock that has, you know how oil looks when there's oil on the road and it rains and it's all like rainbowy? It kind of looks like that. One of those rocks that looks like that. Shem says, I saved a video as a GIF the other day and wasn't too pleased with the quality. If it's methane fog, does that mean that there was once life on this alien world? Not necessarily, but there could certainly be life. Definite possibility. I mean, they think there could be life in there. I mean, there's life near the methane vents down at the bottom of the ocean. Those methane vent worms. So there could totally be, like on Titan, where there's mostly methane kind of atmosphere. There could totally be things living in that methane soup, just like in the soup of the atmosphere. Or even in like the methane ponds. Flying methane creatures and swimming methane creatures. That would be sick. There's life on Saturn. Labradorite, that's the one. Thank you, Seek Dubs. This looks like labradorite. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll save that also. That'll be 9. gonna go back to the previous one. Cool. So it's actually not that drastic of a change from the other one. Formica. Okay, so what else do we want to do to this? Maybe we'll try some different ambient colors. And then you can kind of flavor the entire thing with a different sort of color. Maybe it's more like a cool green and purple and blue. And then maybe the fog is more of that bluish kind of deal. Okay. I like that too. I'm going to save that. It's going to be 10. I'm going to go back to 8 again. That's a really nice variation. Oh, I'm so sorry the sounds aren't working. I got to figure that out. I was so excited about that. I was unable to test it though. Okay, so we're back here again. Okay, so let's work with this color. Now I think what we can do is render out a bigger version. And while that is happening, because that'll take a minute or two, I'm going to go use the restroom. Let's render it out as 4600. It'll just be double the size because I want to zoom in and look at some more of these areas. And let's actually do a little bit more number crunching here, just to see if we can make some of this smoother. And again, I don't know what these descriptions really mean, like ray step multiplier. It'll give you a little tip here, but I don't totally understand. So let's calculate that. And while that's going, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Mandelbulb got me. I'm trapped inside of Mandelbulb. I'm trapped inside of Mandelbulb also. Whoa. Check. Okay. It might be more likely that Mandelbulb would eat me Because, like, Mandelbulbs are these weird 3D, like, morphing shapes. Imagine being consumed by a fractal. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah, we gotta do shadows too. After this finishes rendering, we're gonna look at it and see what areas need work. And we're gonna do some shadows. But we're gonna render it back down to 2300 to do that. But we do just want to get a nice, like, close-up view of everything we did. And yes, it does take a while. I'm a big fan of these tempo sloth emotes. Okay, we're almost there. A lot of information in this. You'll see how that when it's rendering, it'll do the main rendering, and then it goes in and does any shadow information you had, which in our case is not a ton. We didn't. I think it just kind of automatically does some ambient shadow. But we're going to do some hard shadow and see what we can get out of that. Dude, Chum, we got to get you to affiliate so you can get an emote. And oh yeah, Chum's like, I saw the thing you posted on Instagram today. That looks awesome. The way you'd use the custom brushes to make those creatures. Looks sick, dude. Oh, wow, okay, so yeah. This is what we have now. And you can see how the lighting really gives it dimension, like, especially with the fog, doing this sort of further away stuff. You get a lot of 3D-ness. And some of the graininess got cleaned up, which is nice. And even, like, look at how this has this kind of texture to it, or this, like, this speckled spottedness to it. Really makes it feel like it's more natural, like it's stone. And, like, I don't even know where that came from. That's just so, that's so cool. Got some nice highlights. These, like, grayish blue highlights. More graininess here, but then we got these highlights here. This nice bronze and the orange stuff over here. And we got the skull. Oh, did I turn that other light off? Or make it invisible? I can't remember which one it was now. Didn't we put an eye in there? You know what? I think I like it better without it anyway. Okay, so let's shrink this back to out there. So everything looks good. I'm going to drop it for the sake of making this render faster each time. I'm going to go back to, oops. Let's go right to 1080. No, 1920 by 1080. I'm going to say keep aspect, and then we're going to go to 2300. We'll do that. Come on. You have to go, Andremia. Oh no. Okay. Thank you. It'll be a really fun one. We'll keep you in mind as we explore. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us. Robot out. Teleport out. Teleports out. Yes. Yes. Let's get that coffee check. And a stretch. Let's do a stretch for M. Just jump right into your favorite yoga pose. Okay, so here's our image again. Now let's look at the, you know what, let's save again, because I'm crazy like that. Save M3I. 11, I think? Base Taffy 11. Space Taffy 11. Okay, so shadows. Let's go to post-process. Okay. Actually, we're going to have to put this over here. Let's do the hard shadows. Let's just see what happens if we do all the hard shadows. So each of the positional light sources that we used are now going to cast hard shadows upon whatever they would in, I guess if this were real, I don't know how it works, but yeah, each one is a light source that then uses the topography to tell where the shadows are going to go. And sometimes you don't want to use every single one, but I want to see what it looks like, and then we can kind of turn different sources on and off and see how the shadows look and kind of tweak it to perfection. This does take a while too. You can just kind of watch it. It's like downloading a picture in the early days of AOL. And I think this will also help to bring down this hotspot a little more. And you can see how you're kind of getting these dark spots all within these crevices, which makes it look really, really like, wow, like everything pops. You get that contrast. It really makes you feel like this is a really intricate, craggy kind of rock surface. Hey, Retro Music, welcome. Greetings from across the pond. How are you doing today? We're doing Mandelbulb Mondays, first official Mandelbulb Monday, where we explore alien worlds and fractal things. Right now we're doing the hard shadow calculation on this particular scene. Who was it the other day that said that this reminded them of that that DOS game? Was it Typely? That Rise of the Triad DOS game where you fly around, which is just incidentally exactly like the navigator in here. But yeah, see how this is, it's kind of making this hotspot less hot, but it's also bringing back in the color that's underneath it, kind of, which is that red, and it's giving all these nice little shadows in these areas. And even like the shadow right underneath this little ridge right there, that's so nice. Gives a lot of dimension. MS-DOS games. Dude, I remember playing Doom, like on my family's old fucking like compact computer, and whatever it was, like 93 or 94 or something. And just like sitting there in the dark and freaking myself out playing Doom. Retro says, all good here. Hope you're well also. Like the pic. Thanks. Yep, we're doing good. We're staying inside and doing Mandelbulb stuff. because it's cold and it snowed a little bit. So we're just chilling by the fireplace. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm digging this hard shadow. This kind of did the thing I was looking to do with it since the beginning, which is kind of dull down that hot spot right there. And I think we're going to stick with that because it does take kind of long to render these. I don't want to make you guys sit through this thing every time I make one little tweak. Well, let's see. Let's see about the, that's a hard shadow. The ambient shadow is doing automatic. I think we can leave that. And I do want to just try, let's save this again. So we can get back to that. Space Taffy 12. We started with Taffy, then we got a lizard skull, and whatever this thing is. This kind of looks like fool's gold. And then I want to zoom into more of these things, but like, let's just take a look at this again. Even like just this part right here, I would make this a print. It has all these stars, which are just pixels. Just artifacts. That makes so much sense that they would be stars. And then you get these weird kind of ridges right here, where there's like looks like a separation in the rock, or like a sedimentary layer. And all this weird shit that kind of wouldn't happen, like there's a little float, like this is almost a floating piece of rock. It's not exactly connected right there. And then up here too. That's what you get with these taffy formulas. You say the layers on the orange is sick. Thanks. Yeah, it blows me away how you can come up with awesome lighting effects in this. And even still, like, we're looking at this at a lower res right now, so when we export the final version, it'll be a huge version, so it'll look like super smooth. It'll still have this kind of like pixelation where the it just couldn't calculate, but it's going to be like super nice. One thing I might do is go in and touch this part up in Procreate, and just because that's kind of a really hot spot, I might take that down a little bit. But other than that, I think we have a great image. So I just saved that, right? So what was I going to do? I was going to do depth of field. We'll just see what the automatic does. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm not super versed in the depth of field settings yet. I've only used it like a few times. Hopefully it doesn't crash or do anything. I don't see any change happening to the image. Bulging tectonic plate. Yes, chum, for sure. It is like these pieces of rock all cracking apart. Or like this little split right down here is like a heat split. And like maybe this is all like lava or some shit. It's like gas form of lava. And Seek says lighting is the hardest part in Mandelbulb. Yeah, I wish they would give you more lights instead of just 6. You kind of have to be clever with how you position them. But you can get a lot of color or coloration out of a single light. It just happens that it's all going to be the same color. So I don't know what happened, if this is still like trying to calculate, but oh, okay, yeah. I always forget the little meter down there. Okay, so that wasn't good. That was too much. If I do that, no, we're not going to sit through that again. I'm just going to open up the version we just had. Okay, so as far as this image, I guess the only thing to do would be to render it out as a big one. I'll do that later off stream, but since we have this, I think we can move on to another one. Or maybe we'll go back into the navigator and fly around and see what we can find also within this. Keeping in mind that the light is not going to necessarily work for whatever we find next, but we'll see. Actually, let's also look at our animation to see what we have in there. So we have those, what, 3 frames, I think? A bunch of frames, okay. So let's save the animation again, and we'll start a new one. Oh wait, this will be 2. Okay, so we'll start a new one. And let's go back to the navigator and fly around. See, in this case, I don't know why the lighting is so much different. Usually it's just a little bit different. Let's mess around with some of these parameters. This will radically shift the whole landscape. Let's see what that will look like in the main. The lighting is probably going to look really off. And Big Sister says, thank you for the stream. Going to pop out for a bit. Okay, thanks, Big Sister. We appreciate you. I'll see you next time on Mandelbulb Monday, or maybe tomorrow for Ableton. Ableton on Tuesday and Thursday, art on Monday and Wednesday, and then live looping sets Saturday. Wow, look at this. This is going to be weird. Whoa, dude. It's pretty wild. You can see how sometimes this is like the taffy thing I'm talking about, where things get like stretched out. Let's grab a keyframe from that. Got a brand new animation here. Okay, yes. Okay, so let's keep going. Now let's I kind of want to see what this whole thing, this is like a whole different kind of surface over here. I want to see what that will kind of turn into. Okay, so that's like part of the egg that we started with. Okay, yeah, then it kind of goes back to 0 again. It shrinks in, it implodes. Let's keyframe that. We'll just do a little bit of a rotate and a look, just to move the camera a little bit. Keyframe that, and I kind of want to see what that looks like as an animation real quick. Let's do a quick and dirty. It's even going to take too long. Let's do render every 10th frame and downscale it a bunch more. It'll be small, but we'll get an idea. This is like space collision type shit. Like an asteroid just slammed into a planet. Hey, Mario. Welcome to the show, my brother. It is cozy in here, right? The crackle of the fireplace is so nice. I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're doing well, too. Right now, we're just doing a quick and dirty animation render to see what this is going to look like. And then I think we might start a brand new one. Whoa, this is fucking nutty, dude. That's pretty cool. You know what? Let's do a couple more keyframes, and then we'll continue. So I'll go back to the navigator. We're going to edit these parameters a little more. Let's do the Z parameter. So when it really just starts to fully taffy spaghettify. We'll rotate some more. We'll look down here. Grab a keyframe. Do the Y dimension. Do some X dimension. And then the thing kind of starts to implode. And then you can kind of see how that the egg from before is kind of like connected to these in a way. So let's grab that as a keyframe. Yeah, see, like, if we send this to the main, this is going to be like an egg with, it's going to look like a squid almost. Dude. Check that out. You can even, it has some of that speckling still over here. It's pretty interesting. And then even here it has these little like growths on it. It's like an exploding squid. And you can see here an example of how the lights, like this purple spot right there, is one of the positional lights. And that's exactly in the frame where I put it before. So like the lights don't move with the formula. They just kind of stay where they are. So you get weird effects like this one here. That looks cool though. It's like a little sparkle on the edge of this point, or on the, whatever part of the point that is. So I'm actually going to save this one, but then we're going to jump into a brand new formula. It's going to be 13. So we went through sort of 13 iterations of this one formula. Let's save this animation. 3 A's, and it's going to be Broccoli Schmear Taffy Dealy 3. That title was inspired by Amanda. Okay, so we're going to delete this again. So we have a blank animation editor. And did I save this one? I don't remember. Yes, okay. See that it's 13. So let's go back to our formulas. We'll close the post-processing. Mario says, that looks awesome. I need to check that out. Yeah, dude, it is super interesting. And like, it seems intimidating at first, but it's really not. You don't need to know any math. You don't have to know, how to calculate these things. You just kind of play with sliders and you can find cool shit. It's super fun. So actually, let's go in and find a new formula. And I actually want to delete these other two formulas here. So to do that, you go repeat from here, and it just copies over a blank one. Okay, so let's try some of these other ones. Maybe, I don't know, Beth 432. Let's see what Beth 432 looks like. Oh, why is it still doing that, though? Did I miss one? Oh, okay. Oh, see, so I made a mistake, but this is actually kind of cool to show you how the formulas interact with each other. I actually wanted to put that one in the first slot, but I put it in two. So now it's like kind of adding to the first one. But it just replaced all that stuff. So now you have this different kind of texture over this area. Mario says, oh yeah, found that one. Wasn't sure if it's that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mandelbulb 3D. Thank you, Seek Dubs. There's also another Mandelbulb program called Mandelbulber. I haven't tried it, but this one is great. And it's free, so you should check it out if you're interested. So yeah, actually, I'm kind of digging this now. But I did want to change the initial formula. However, since this is kind of like a nice happy accident, maybe let's go into the navigator and bring that in. And you know what? I think I'm going to turn all these lights off. I think these lights are kind of like messing with what it looks like inside of the window. Nope, it won't go back to like normal lighting. All right. I guess we'll leave them on then. We'll just have to render. Okay, so let's mess with these parameters. Formula 2. We can't? Okay. Actually, this would make a great animation too, I think. We start over here. Kind of put the Z dimension way over to the right. And let's make a keyframe of that. And now let's take that Z dimension pull it way over, and then you can see the whole thing kind of like collapses in on itself. And let's grab a keyframe of that. I think that's going to be a really nice animation. Let's even just do a really quick... Yeah. Awesome. Just kind of folds in on itself and then comes out the other side and like... That's fucking cool. Hey, Sess, what's up, dude? Welcome to the show. Sword Gang, for sure. We're doing Mandelbulb animations today. And not just animations, but also still frames. But we kind of get sidetracked, which is what we like. So that's that. Let's save this animation. Okay. Let's view this to the main. Let's see what that looks like in high res. I'm doing pretty well. It's been a good day. It's cold outside, so I'm staying in here and doing art things. Okay, so this is not a great image. I probably wouldn't use that, but let's, okay, now let's do what I was trying to do before that got us sidetracked. Okay, so now we have, what? It should be blank. Oh, you know what? I did the wrong thing. It's not those arrows. I have to do right click and copy to, yeah. Okay, so let's pick a new base formula. Maybe Bullbox. We'll just see what we get. And again, we're using the same lighting as we had before. I might just reset it so we can start over. Whoa. Set the grayscale. That's a lot better. Now let's go into the navigator. We're going to fly around some more. Okay, so our light is kind of reset now, which is nice. Let's see if we can zoom out. This might be a situation where, one thing you could do sometimes, you get a formula where it's zoomed way in, and you're kind of like cutting through like a cross section, like because the camera's too close. You can kind of go into the position here, and if you go to reset, it'll do this, and then when you calculate again, it'll be further out. Looks like ultrasonic. Let's get that stretch check, hydration check, everybody. So this is the Bullbox. It's literally like a cube that has all these fractals like wrapped around it. And this is another one that kind of has that like church architecture, almost Gothic type vibe when you zoom into it. Let's go back to the navigator. Like, I don't know, it has these things that look like those intricate windows, like stained glass windows, or those kind of archway ceiling type deals. Oh wow, yeah. See, now we're trapped inside the fractal. This can be really interesting, where the thing starts to sort of break apart because you mess with the scale, and then you can kind of fly into these little spots in between. Like, it gets super weird. Like, maybe we'll go down in here and check out some of the detail over here. Yeah, down the rabbit hole for sure, dude. Fractality. It just goes on forever. So let's see about flying into there. Oh, see, we lost it. It's like you try to kind of fly into a spot, but it's not really solid, so it like kind of just... it just breaks apart and like displaces itself. It's so weird. I don't know if the camera can't actually like, yeah, like this is cool already. If we just kind of look around from this point, we're at this intersection. Let's send this to the main. We'll see what that looks like. This is going to be very futuristic. Yes, it does take a lot of processor for sure. Actually, the stream, it looks like my camera, or something is dropping frames, like it's not going at full speed right now. When it's doing this, it's crunching CPU super hard. I think it doesn't even use GPU, it only uses CPU. Because it's all just like numbers. Like there's no textures, if that makes sense. It's just like formulas. And whatever you get as a result of numbers, as far as I can tell. It's not like, say, in an MS-DOS game like Doom, where there's like a texture mapped to a wall. This is like just what the math gives you. It's not like a thing that they laid over top of it. But look at this, it's like some fucking futuristic city. Let's go back to the navigator and see if we can fly in a little closer. Everything just breaks apart. It's so weird. If you look over this way. Let's keyframe that. Actually, let's go back. Oops. Somewhere in there. Let's keyframe that. Oh, I forgot to reset it. Let's delete that one. Delete that one. Go to a new one so we don't override accidentally. And let's mess with some more of these parameters. Fold is cool. Fold like shifts the whole thing. In this case, every formula has different sort of parameters. A lot of them are like XYZ type shit, but you get different things with each one. Some do a little, some do a lot. Like scale will do a lot. Let's keyframe that. Listening to the soothing sounds of a fireplace and trapped phosphor. Today I'm Bob Foss. And we have to credit Evil Deadhead with that name. That nickname. Oh yeah, dude, the hydration checks work. I'm just not great at looking up at chat, because I get lost in the sauce. I'm almost out of coffee, though. Okay, let's, oops. And it's gone. There it is. Yo. Let's keyframe that. Let's go back to the main with it. And you know what? I haven't tried any of the mutagen today. Let's try the mutagen after this. We'll calculate that. Lurk. Okay, we'll be here. Go do your thing. Dude. bots? We got bots in here? Did someone just ban a bot and I missed it? Okay, cool. So check this out. This is like our space station. Let's do the lighting in the background. Just make it a dark space background. I kind of want to get another formula working on this. Oh yeah, if you see a bot, totally, you can ban them, dude. I didn't see any come up just recently. I had a couple at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, definitely ban them if you know for sure it's a bot. Do you want to be famous? Oh wait, you know what? I do actually have I'm not sure if they're in here right now, but I have two of my own like burner accounts, not like burner, but for like testing purposes. They're called junk account number 1 and junk account number 2. And the funny thing is on the first affiliate Saturday night stream, Humboldt came in and she gifted some subs out, and those two accounts got gifted subs. It was hilarious, dude. And then Tomas came in and he gifted a sub to Tendril. So that was fun. Retro says, hey, I like to chill out and watch the art. I like to do that too. Let's look at this ambient lighting. This is going to be more of a bluish thing, I think. But I did want to get another formula in here. Let's look at some of these. I think what you have to do is, like, on the first formula, you have to use one of the ones that doesn't have an underscore. And then for additional ones, you might use an underscore. I think that's how it works. I haven't totally figured it out yet. I just kind of like trial and error, and something works, it works. So maybe just for the hell of it, we'll try that. Let's see what that does. See if we can zoom out a bunch. Well, that didn't do what I wanted to do. Let's go back. We'll view this to the main again. Sometimes you gotta back up. Oh yeah, have I followed? Oh yeah, because Mario, I was trying to get your numbers up, so I followed you with my 2 other accounts, my 3 other accounts. Tendril Sound and junk account number 1 and 2. Yeah. If anybody needs to get pushed over the edge of a certain number of followers, I have 3 other accounts I can follow you with. Okay, so we're back here. Let's go back into the navigator. This is what we have. And now let's go to... Okay, so I gotta figure out which formula I need to add to this that I can do other shit with it. Devil IFS. That might work, right? No, I need to calculate it first. Let's do it in the navigator. Oh, that made it crash. That's not good. Alright, let's open it up again. Let's take a minute to just not do Mandelbulb and just hang out. How's everybody doing? I just got you to 50, Mario. Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, everyone go follow everyone else. Seek dubs. I'm gonna write that down. And as soon as we get off a stream, I'm gonna go to my other devices and follow you. This is the notes I wrote down for today. Ides is taffy, and seek dubs follow. That's how I know what to do. That was that Ides formula. Let's just try a couple random ones. I'm not even gonna like look at what these are and just see what happens. Okay, let's start there. Let's bring this up to 1920, 1080. We'll do that. We'll bring it to 2300 so it'll fit in the screen nicely. Calculate that, and then let's do some mutagen. We didn't do any mutagen yet. Important notes. I do love these. Like I use these cards. I just write on these cards and just leave them around, and then eventually I collect them up, and it's easier for me to look through them than having a book. Because when I have a book, it's always like, I don't know, it's closed, and then I have to open the book, and it's like this extra step that's like, I know it's stupid, but it's, even that one extra step is like, maybe I won't write this thing down. Okay, so let's go to mutagen. And we'll set some of these parameters. We don't want to change the parameters. We want to change the iteration count. Maybe just a little bit of the... Actually, no. Let's not do exchange, add, and remove. Let's do change parameters a little bit. Adjust these down on the strength a little. We'll see what we get with those. Sometimes you pick the wrong two formulas to go together and you get the same thing over and over. Let's see what else we can do. So instead of dodecahedron IFS, maybe we'll use Borg IFS. Let's see what that does. Nope, can't do that one. If you look down here, it'll tell you if there's an error or if for some reason you can't actually do anything with it. Nope, can't do that. Oh, there we go. Might be that our first formula needs to be edited. So let's see what we can do in the navigator. Mario says, I totally get that. Even when programming, I have posits on my monitor. Even though I could just write it down and the PC itself, less steps is always better. Yes. Convenience. Okay, so let's go to the navigator. And let's actually... The color is just hurting my eyes right now. Okay, so doing that makes it more boxy. Z is going to stretch it out a lot, I think. Our first formula, Beth 323. Let's try a different one. BT1 Pine. This is a fun one. And then maybe instead of scaling, I'm trying to use some of these other formulas I haven't tried before. Oh, that made it crash too. Great. All right. Maybe we'll go with something that's not as crazy. Okay, so we're back. And again, this is the default Mandelbrot set kind of, it's called integer power. And this is the 2D version of it, but when you hit calculate 3D, you get the 3D version. This is the first ever Mandelbulb. Alright, so I gotta do this again. And let's go and do one of the lighting things really quick. Let's go into the background. Yeah, dude, chump slick for sure. I totally like writing on real paper with a marker or a pen. Like something that's like really permanent. It helps me remember things better, I think, than just typing things. Okay, so let's go to the ambient lighting. We're going to do the background black again. I think what I might do this time is I'm going to save this whole setup as a default, because I kind of do this every time. I had this set up a while ago, but I think it got deleted. So I'm going to go save M3I default and call it default, so it'll be at the top of the list. And M says, yes, studies show that writing makes your brain store the info different in your brain. Yeah. And Seth says, making kidney stones. Seth, are you getting drunk without us? I didn't get the... Are you talking about... I didn't get the reference. Are you saying this thing looks like a kidney stone? The Mandelbulb? Oh, okay. Very fun. I hope you're having a good one, sir. Yeah. Get that little bit of the little heightened senses. It'll sharpen you up, like in Clockwork Orange. Some of that Malacco Plus. Okay. Yeah, it does look like a weird fucking kidney stone, right? You ever seen those in the doctor's office, those things they put on the wall? The diagrams that show what shit looks like inside your body? Those are always fun to look at. Unless you're in pain, and then it hurts to look at them. Because you're like, what if this thing is wrong with me? Okay, so we have our Mandelbulb. Let's go... Let's find a different base formula. Maybe AEX octo. That is a good thing to say if you're like, it's a good reference to make if you're drinking. You're like, hey, I'm making kidney stones over here. So this is going to be a crazy one. This is already very taffy-like. Yeah, I gotta grab a little snack here, y'all. What's everybody snacking on today? I got this trail mix. Whoa. Hey, happy 420, everyone. So this thing is like a weird sort of triangle shape. Ooh, that could be fun. Oh, and it's gone. There it is. Nope. Yeah, like some of these fractals you have to look at from different angles to see all the different parts. Let's send that to the main window. Hey, Paul, what's up, man? 420 time. Fractaling is going, right at this moment, not great, but you kind of have to, like, stumble around till you find something with this stuff. I think we might be onto something with this now. This is very, like, craggy, like mountainy. So I think if we fly into this and land on this asteroid, ideally, we can find some cool stuff. Maybe this one's a little bit more smooth than the last one. But yeah, since it's like, it's 420, so let's, dude, yeah, the sounds, I don't know if the sounds are working or not. I think they're not working. I don't know what I have to actually do to get them to work, but I thought I'd set it up correctly. But I'm kind of bummed about that. So we're gonna, like, I'm gonna figure that out later. So I'm sorry you wasted your 100 channel points, but we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the stream after we do some more art. We'll just chill and troubleshoot. But yeah, I do want to smoke a little, so let's get that smoke break. Okay, let's go back into the navigator and we'll fly down, hopefully, and not lose this thing here. And we'll look around, rotate a little bit maybe, oh, the other way. Look this way a little. Maybe this is like a plateau on top of a mountain where maybe a spaceship would land. Hey, Dr. G, welcome to the show. We're doing fractals today. It's Mandelbulb Monday. And Seth says, so you have to do this for all your streams or use presets? No, like, I mean, with this, like, I mean, you can save stuff as a preset, I guess, but I kind of like to start from scratch with each one. Unless I have a specific image I want to go back and render out from a previous session, then I'll go back and open up some older ones. I did that this morning, actually, to render out a couple older sessions from early in quarantine. And, yeah, Dr. D, I love this program. It's fucking great. It's like, I can't believe it's free. It's always interesting. Endless ideas. Like right now, this is going to be some sort of landing platform, I think, for a spaceship. So let's just get the composition looking a little more correct. Kind of like that, but I also want to go, yeah, that's too much. That's too much. Let's try that. Let's send this to the main. Yeah. This really is kind of a hit or miss program where, since I don't know any of the math behind it, I'm kind of just poking around. But you can come up with some really interesting things. And Retro says, what happens if you put a photo in there? Can you pixelate that all up? So as far as that, I think the only thing you can do with bringing photos in is you have them as backgrounds. So if you go to backpick here, you can bring in an image and it'll just cover the whole background. But I don't think you can actually process anything with this other than the actual math. Like you can't use it for any sort of post-processing. That would be cool. Look at this. There's like almost like a launch pad where like maybe a plane would take off and it would go out through this spot here. Or maybe that's a landing strip where it would just land the same way. And Mario says there's a Mac version of this. There's two different ones. Okay. Yeah, you know what, Retro? I'm not sure. There might be a way to do it, but as far as I know, I think it's kind of just crunching numbers internally and then spitting out a representation of that thing, which is really cool. And I haven't really even used the backpick. I've been really trying to only use what's in here so I can learn most of it. And you can get a lot of stuff out of it. So I do like this. I just want to maybe adjust it a little more. Because one thing, like here in the navigator, you're not getting all the details, so the composition looks slightly different. So you kind of have to, you just feel around and go back and forth. Because here, this is all sort of filled in, but on the lower res version, it's kind of more empty here. So maybe we want to zoom in a little more. I don't think we want to rotate. The rotation is pretty good here. That seems like the most natural sort of. It has a little bit of this line which goes to the vanishing point, which would be way, way off over here somewhere, off screen. Let's do that. And then we're going to save it, and that'll be our starting point. And hopefully this doesn't... Okay. SeekDub says, the makers of MB3D made another similar program. I forgot what it's called. Maybe Phoenix? I know there's that one called Mandelbulber, and I'm not sure if that's PC or Mac or whatever. I know it works on PC, but I'm not sure about Mac. But yeah, I actually did have Mandelbulb 3D running on my old MacBook for a minute, but you have to run like Windows to get it to work, like an emulation. So I was running Wine, and it worked, but I had to run it in guest mode or something weird, and it took me a couple hours to figure out how to get it to work. But if you have more than one computer and you want to render out stuff, and you can just dedicate one computer to rendering, you can that's what I'm going to do, take this animation file later and bring it via USB drive over to the other computer and just let it render, no matter how long it takes. It might take, a couple days, but I can't afford to tie this computer up for that. But the other one, yeah. So we have this. Let's go to do some lighting now and get some more of this, You know what? I might want to make one more change. This is the thing. There's a lot of back and forth with this. Mandelbulber works on Mac, Linux, and Windows. Awesome, dude. Yeah, get into it. I haven't tried Mandelbulber. It's only been all MB3D. So maybe if we zoom in a little more here and we want to go too much. I just want to get this composition really dialed. Oh, there it goes. And you know what? I don't think I saved that. Where are we at? 2.5 hours? Oh, we got 13 people. I gotta keep going. Okay. I guess we're gonna start over again. And that's why you always save. I didn't save that. RIP. 420 time. But that's also what's kind of cool about Mandelbulb. It's like, it's kind of unstable. And like, save, save, save. Okay, let's get that hydration check. And I was just thinking like, okay, I'm going to do this one change and then I'm going to save, and then it crashed. But now we also have our default to make things a little quicker. Now, what was that formula we had? Let's try some more weird shit. Let's see what this does. Oh, can't do that, hey? No, can't do that either. Seek Dub says, y'all ever used Visions of Chaos? No, what's that? Sounds very interesting. I think we're making a hot air balloon. Look at this thing. Is this going to be like a sphere? This is like the Epcot sphere at fucking Disney World. It's a golf ball. We made a golf ball. The similar fractal generator. Okay, cool. Is it 3D? All right, so we have a golf ball. Wow, this really looks like a DOS game now. Let's see. Okay, so scale. But I can't do anything with Formula 1. What about iterations? Doesn't do anything. We're just kind of poking around in the dark here. Nope, can't do that either. Hang on. I think I'm going to open up one of my older files. Just as a place to start from. And then, okay, yeah. So like this one. This one became something similar, but it's from a different perspective, and it has these pyramids in it. But let's see about, let's see what I did on this one. So it's half octa IFS, and then the full recfold, Menger hyper, full box. Wow, okay. Let's mess around with these. Wow, this brings me back to the early days of quarantine. This is one of the ones I think I was working on when I'd first discovered Brightside's channel. And I would just go in there and hang out and listen to him produce and chill with y'all and work on these animations. And I think that was in like April or so. Paul says I need a video for my latest audio track. Got 6 minutes and 30 seconds, if anything, to mash up. I have plenty of content. If you want, I'll do a video for you for a fee for sure. For something like that, for like a short video, I would use, what's it called? Resolume. And I lost the image here. Oh, this is fun. Just for local prod society fame and glory. I tell you what, if I had the time to work for free on that, I would. But I really have to concentrate on my stream right now. But maybe I'll work on it on stream. If you send me audio, maybe I'll do a Resolume session based off of it. Box. I'm going to try and change the box formula. You say give me the stem and I edit. What do you mean? The video? Because I'd have to, the thing is about the video, I'd have to do it in real time. Because I can't just like I don't have like just 6 minutes of video somewhere that's going to fit with what you're doing. I have to do it custom for your song. Why does my camera keep going out? Do I not have a light here? I have this janky setup where I'm using these pieces of paper to like reflect light, and it kind of works. Let's send that to the main window. Hopefully it won't crash again. No, I mean, I do have, I have plenty of content, but it's all stuff that needs to be, like, sent through Resolume to like, because they're mostly short clips. I think the longest clip I have, aside from my Liquid Light Show stuff, is maybe, like, 2 to 3 minutes. And also, it's not going to, like, I don't want to just, I don't want to just send you something that wasn't made for it, to use for it, because it's not going to fit. And if I'm going to have, my work out there on someone's music, I want it to be top notch. So it would have to be custom. And I wouldn't do it like via editing. I would just actually mix video clips in real time with Resolume. Because I've tried to do the editing thing, and it just takes forever. It's way easier to just mix in real time. Not fit? Good one. Have you heard my crap? No, I mean, like, it's just one of those things that if I'm gonna work on something, I'm not gonna half-ass it, and I have to, like, actually be into it. Chum slick. So I think we're kind of, wow, we got 14 people in here. I'm sorry for that. This is taking so long to render. I'm sure this is horrifically boring for y'all. You know what? I know why. It's kind of at a big size. I'm just gonna go down to 1920 by 1080. That'll make it go sort of faster, but yeah. I'm just over here rambling on about fucking one thing or another. We could go over to Ableton for a minute, and I could be trapped inside of Ableton. Is this entertaining to anyone? We got a blank Ableton session here. And I want to figure out what will happen with those channel point sounds. I need to figure that out for y'all. Channel point sounds will be a thing. But you know what? I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. You just watch this render. Right. Well, says all good. If you want to collab on something, I can make track. Then you take it from there. Yeah, that'd be. Oh, nice chum. The little squish TVs. That's fucking great. Modifying emotes rules. Okay, so now we have this other weird kind of pyramid dealy. Let's do the background. So I can't concentrate with this, like, this blue sky. And if this one turns out to be crap also, we'll just go back to the one we started originally, and maybe we'll explore that one some more. Because that was a good landscape, I like that one. We were on track with that other one, but then the fucking had to crash. Okay, so also the fog. Let's do something like that. And maybe we'll go back into the navigator and we'll fly around a little bit. Or let's see, we could put more formulas in. Let's see if we can actually find one that'll work. Nope, it crashed again. All right. Okay, so I don't know why that's happening. But you know what? I think we're going to wind the stream down. Let's open up the first one we made. Just to give you an idea that, yes, you can actually make shit with this. That's cool. If you're just tuning in now and you saw me stumble through that last half an hour or so, but you can actually make cool shit with this. You just have to kind of play around with it. There's no, like, unless you know this hardcore math, you're not going to know what's going on. Yeah, it does open back up quickly. That's nice. I wish it had some sort of restore function like Ableton. And also, like, there's this undo here, but it doesn't quite work the way you think it does, and I don't know if I know how it works. Hey, dude, you got little snowflakes on the TV? Yeah, for real, I've never seen that one. How the fuck, Em? Do you know the math, bro? Can you even crunch numbers? Yeah, I can see it. I can see it, Em. I like the little squished ones. That looks like a fucking... like a stomped-on soda can. So yeah, this is going to be the one. This one I'm going to render out as a large size, and this is going to go on my my new web store, because I need to start selling prints or something so I can make some damn money. So if you look in my bio, it actually says up here, check out our Mandelbulb art. Shop link below. It's all there. Bro, if you can't calculate binary, don't even talk to me. You say, I went to the modify and it had a bunch of things. Had snow, finger gun. I haven't seen snow. I've seen the finger gun. I've seen like the squished one, the reverse. Sweet. Yeah. So you know what? Let's actually, since we're here, let's mess with this some more. I'll fly across the landscape a little more. Because this is the best planet we found today. The other ones were dookie. They caused my computer to not work properly and crash the program. Luckily, it did not crash the entire thing. Let's send this to them. Actually, we're sending that to the main. Let's do some of this weird shit. Ooh. Parts of it just flying off into space. Oh shit, I want to see what this looks like. I like this, whatever this is right here. I see a face in there. However, I think once we render it to the main, it's going to look weird. But we'll see. Hey, finger guns. This could be cool. So this is what we got. Very grainy, but nice. I like the color. I like the texture. Let's save that version. Hey, Evil Deadhead, welcome. How you doing today? And Paul says, so Boris Vallejo? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Vallejo? So let's go back to the navigator. And look around some more. Kind of looks like a gnarly tree trunk. Let's try that. I'm also going to start some more animation keyframes. Save. Paul, what is this link? Is this dude's art? Oh, wow. Am I allowed to show this on stream? Oh, so yeah, this is like that fantasy stuff with naked chicks. And like these muscle-bound He-Man dudes. And fucking dragons and horses, yeah, dude. This is the kind of shit that you get airbrushed on the side of your van in 1982. Or yeah, maybe it was the 70s I'm thinking of. That fucking, like, airbrush kind of style. Remember when everything was airbrushed? You go, like, there'd be like a mall kiosk with an airbrush dude. And he would do, like, characters or whatever. Okay, let's view that to the main window. Calculate. Yeah, the landscapes. This could be cool. There's a lot of these spiky type deals, and then I want to see what this will look like over here. This weird archway thing. Wow, that's pretty cool too. You can see how like this is almost a solid thing, but not really. How it just kind of disintegrates into pixels. That's fucking cool looking. And just how like organic and naturalistic these look. Like the way they're stretched out, and even like the way the shadows look. Save that. I'm going to send a keyframe of that. Did I do that already? Animations. Either way, I'll grab another one for good measure. I guess we'll keep going. Y'all want to keep going? Are you into more of this Mandelbulb stuff? We did 3 hours. I kind of want to keep going though, because now we're on a better path again. Maybe this was the move for today, to keep going with the same formula and just make iterations of it rather than trying to start new ones. I know on Friday, on the pilot of this show, we did like three. We started from 3 different places and came up with 3 different still images. I'm driving the bus. I guess I am driving the bus. I'm kind of seeing like almost like a snail in here. Like this is here's like the antenna right here. And then it has like a closed eye, like a human style closed eye. And then this is like the whole body of like, the head kind of like, and then here's the shell. But it's also like a very Jabba the Hutt kind of snail deal. Okay, so let's go. Nice. Let's go back to the navigator. And let's see what else we can find. And if we just remember to save, we'll be good. Let's taffy it up a little more here. Maybe the other way. Maybe somewhere in there. And we'll fly totally around to the other side. Here you can kind of see the symmetry of the whole thing. What? Please don't crash. Why can't I do a keyframe of that? And it's going to crash again. That's it. Snail or insect species. Paul says, gonna wander off and do some patching. Okay, catch you next time. Thanks, Paul. Have fun with your modular stuff, dude. It sounds like so much fun. Okay, so I don't know. 3D fractal rendering is not responding. I guess I'm going to close it. We just saved, and I think that's going to be the end of the show for today. Unfortunately, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm going to work these bugs out off stream, and we'll come back next Monday for Mandelbulb Monday, and hopefully it won't crash too much. Yeah, do the Paul command. So I thank everyone for joining me. It's been fun, and I hope you learned some things. I learned a few new things today. And let's see who we can raid. No one's on. Amanda's on. Should we raid Amanda? Or does anyone else? Does anyone have a thanks fa? Thanks Optic. Bob Foss. Yes. All right. Wax Motif is doing DSR demo day. Wax Motif, eh? I was kind of maybe hoping to find someone that's also doing art, like visual art. Maybe Evil Dead. Do you know someone who's doing art right now that you want to raid? Art, yeah, like visual art. Since we were doing visual art today, like if I'm doing music, I'll try to raid someone who's doing music. But today, since we're doing visual stuff, maybe you can find someone that And to be honest, I don't like have a lot of people that I know that are doing visual art. So I need to follow some more people and find some more good channels. And I actually don't. Oh wait, here we go. Wax Motif. 422 viewers. Let me just check this out real quick. Hey, Tomos! Someone do the toe command, please. Nem says, Pixel Logic is my go-to, but they aren't on right now. Toe? Tomos, do you know anyone who's doing art on Twitch right now that we can raid? We're looking to raid someone who's doing art. I just did a 3-hour Mandelbulb stream. The first half was great. The second half, we had a lot of crashes. Not gonna lie, it was kind of rough. But we made one good image. Friendin? Friendin. Okay, yeah, let's do Friendin. Thank you for the suggest, Tomos. And I hope your battle with Finger Lichen is going well. Okay, so again, thank you everyone. I love you, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming to the first edition of Mandelbulb Monday, first episode. Next week we'll have less crashes, and it'll be fun. And yeah, do that toe command. Let's go into Friendin, and we're gonna spam some emotes. Let's spam the Tomos emotes. Friendin, raid Friendin. Okay, here we go. And we're off.
And so she keeps coming back and like trying to small talk and chat me up until finally her manager like pulls her away. It's like, you need to stay away from his table, basically, is kind of the vibe that I got. And then, hey, thanks for the follow, Jay Matthews Art and Phosphor Visual. So I'm just kind of like amused at this point. And oh, there's a raid. Jeez, there's 8 people here. You're in the middle of a thirst trap story, and not even art. And so she like brings me my bill and stuff, and she's standing by the table like as I'm leaving, like waiting for more. Like I can tell she's expecting to be like, "Nice to meet you. Here's, would you like to do something sometime?" I'm like, "Yeah, what I'd like to do sometime is to give you a receipt." So it's just another day out in Topeka where thirst is real. If anybody is sad, lonely, and single, Topeka, because everyone here thirsts with the fire of 1,000 Sahara deserts as if they've been walking